Hi guys, so welcome back. So the next thing we're going to do is talk about a problem where we want to sketch the solid whose volume is given by this integrand right here. And so the first thing that I want to do before I actually do that is let's just really quickly solve this so we can kind of see what our answer should look like. So in previous videos, we've talked about this is actually really basic to integrate. So we're going to start with the integration from 0 to 1. And just before, remember guys, we're just looking at integrating from 0 to 2 of the function 1 half x with respect to x. So I've got myself a 1 half, and I'm going to integrate x as x squared over 2. And I'm going to evaluate that from 0 to 2 with respect to y. So I want to clean up a little bit. So let's go ahead and pull the 1/4 out. And we're going to integrate from 0 to 1 of x squared, evaluate it from 0 to 2 of dy. So just basically pull the 1/4 out, just so we can see every single step. Once we do that, remember, we're going to use the fundamental theorem of calculus. We're going to plug the 2 in and then 0 in. And so we're going to get 1/4 again, the integration from 0 to 1, and then we're going to simply get 4, right? So 2 squared is 4, 0 squared is 0, so 4 minus 0 is 4 dy. And then we're going to just now integrate 4, which is going to be 4y, the integration from 0 to 1. And then our final answer here would be that we plug in 1 for y, plug in 0 for y, and we get 4, which gives us a grand answer of 1. So when we sketch this thing and look at it a little bit, our answer should actually end up being 1. So the first thing that I'm going to do here, and I apologize now for how hideous my drawings are, is we're going to go ahead and draw an x, y, z coordinate system. And the first thing I want to acknowledge here is that on the y-axis, we're going to go from 0 to 1. So right here, 1. And then on the x-axis, we're going to go 2 units. And so what we're creating here, guys, is this is the base of our prism, right? This is the rectangle that we are integrating on. All right. So now we're going to realize that the function, so what does the actual graph look like? So remember that z is equal to our function of 1 half x because z is equal to the function with respect to xy. So in this case, our function is just 1 half x. So a couple things here. Well, first of all, this is just a line. It's just a line in the xz plane. The other thing that we can do here to just look at kind of what's going on is I can multiply by 2. And so it says that z times 2 is equal to x. All right, so that means that when x is equal to 2, so I'm looking right here, when x is equal to 2, that means z is equal to 1. So I know that I can draw a distance of 1 right here from when x equals 2. My height of my prism is going to be 1. Since this is a line, another thing that I can do here is that when x equals 0, z is also 0, and it's a line that's going to go like this. Again, it's in the xz plane. So there we go. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to replicate this because it's on this rectangle, our triangular prism that you see right there. And so I'm going to look at this triangular prism. All right. So remember that for this problem, this is a triangular prism. And so we're looking for volume. So remember that for all prisms, the volume is going to be the area of the base times the height of our prism. Well, the height is going to be the distance between the two, right? So the height of our prism is going to be here. So these are our two bases. Those are our two bases. So the height is going to be this. So our height's going to actually just end up being 1, right? It's the y value. So the height in this problem is 1. Well, the area of the base is going to be the area of the triangle, right? That's the area of the triangle. So the height of our triangle is going to be 1. And then the length of our triangle is going to be 2. So the area of this triangle is going to be 1 half times the base times the height, which is also going to give us 1. So that means that the B, big B, is also equal to 1. So volume is going to be 1 times 1, which is exactly what we got right here. Okay? So this is what you are actually finding the volume of when you're doing a double integral. So thought this was a really easy, simple problem for us to try so you guys can get a good visual of when we're actually doing this, what is this actually representing? We are trying to find the volume of our prism. Okay? So I hope this was helpful, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.